Ah, what is going on, my friends? And welcome back to the channel. This is the weekly Barnsley Live where we're going to address what's happened and what's going to happen next. Little short, snappy intro for you there. I noticed, right, straight off bat, and I'm going to say it right now, I always notice the viewership change in terms of if Barnsley have done well or if we're just an absolute clown fest. And people, very much Goldbridge like, people like to see you lose. So if I can go this full season with this being my lowest viewed activity, holy shit, I know we've done well. Then I will know that we've had an absolute belter. Boys, how are we all doing? And girls, how are we all doing? Everybody had a good day, good weekend, good life? I'm doing great. Like Barnsley, wow. Wowie. Just quick thank you as always to Mash Bingo for sponsoring the channel. Top link in the description. We know crack now. We know crack. Oh man, I just love this. I genuinely love this. I've looked forward to this for days. Because I'll tell you what, when we were 2-0 down at Burton, and I said this in my EFL review, and I've said it on the live last night, which we'll address in a minute. God, I were really, really worried that we were just normal. That we were just back to normal like we have been for the last couple of seasons. 2-0 down at home to Burton. Just cursed for some reason at home. We could not hit a barn door. We can't do anything in first half. It is well up, Marcus, and it is really up. We just couldn't do anything first half. We created nothing. It was an awful watch. The only person, in fairness, trying to do anything I thought in first half was McGoldrick, and that were it. Never in a million years were a man at match, by the way, like ever. But to be fair, scored winning goal, like Urian said. That's why he keeps someone like that on pitch, because he will just get you points and he will drag you over the line, which he did. But I thought we were really, really poor first half. Really poor. Oh, yeah. J-Nat, believe me, mate, my DMs were an absolute disgrace. I must have had 50 on Instagram by half-time. And then, I'll tell you what, by full-time, there were only 20, because Ephraim had gone. You know what I mean? Total DJ says, nice to actually hear from you this time. True, we'll adjust that right now. Obviously, me and Jimmy, Blades Ramble, did a live last night where we were addressing Yorkshire football effectively. We're going through all the teams, looking at the biggest. It's like football 11. Anybody from around here? I know that not everybody in here is a Barnsley fan, obviously. But from around South Yorkshire, there's something called Football 11 where fans ring in and just give their opinion on stuff. And that's effectively what it is. It's going to be like a calling show. So, you can, obviously, Mr. Toaster was always in here. I've not seen him yet, but you can join and just like speak to us and ask questions, all that type of stuff, and give your opinion on stuff, which I think is nice. But obviously, there's no professionalism involved, is there? And Jimmy put loads of effort into it, to be fair, and it's somewhat on my end because my mic seemed to be working, but for the first 15 minutes there was just nothing happening. So that were a problem. It wasn't Yorkshire footy, just Sheffield United. Well, that'll be changing, mate. From next week, don't worry, that'll be changing. Absolute joke, innit? Disgusting. But in fairness, it's going to be heavily dominated by biggest teams who have got the most to talk about in terms of them results at weekend. Sheffield United are one of the biggest round here. Obviously, it's including all the Yorkshire, so you've still got Leeds and that. But Sheffield United are one of the biggest ones. They got absolutely slapped up. They got dick to bar, start to finish, in a game that they expected to win. So it's going to take a lot of highlights of it anyway. Do you know what I mean? Senior Insta story at full time, never in doubt. True. Literally never once right in doubt. But going back to it, obviously the Burton game, I think everybody felt same as well. Going into half time, it was a bit like, oh God, we're just never going to win an home game ever again. It was awful, weren't it? I don't know what Urian said to him at half time, but they had a proper rocket up arse, didn't they? Seriously, like, they come out full guns blazing, really. I know we scored 2 in space for about 10 minutes, I believe, for first and second one. But yeah, it were a completely different team that come out in the second half. We looked much more creative. We looked like we had a clear game plan. And Phillips, again, I thought were outstanding. And we'll talk about that, obviously, in a minute. You had an excuse to talk about Grimsby and didn't do it. Poor from you, Carl. I can't even remember what happened, mate. You drew, didn't you? I think, if I remember that correctly. Grimsby's never been Yorkshire anywhere. Who did he even play? Can't remember. Anyway, obviously, going into a game tomorrow night, we're going to... Well, Urian says that we're not going to rotate team that much. I'll get it up now, and then we'll go back to Burton game, because the Fleetwood thing tomorrow... I'm excited to watch it, don't get me wrong, but I think it's a chance for a couple at new players to show what they're about. I don't think he'll put a lot of kids in to start, because obviously Fleetwood... Yeah, it's a League 2 side, and it's probably one of the better jobs that you could have got, but they've won the first 2 games in League 2, so they're going to have some decent momentum behind them. They've got Norwood and Ched Evans up front, so he's not going to go and put, like, kids in defence, I don't think. I think he'll start... Yeah, 3-piece, get that right. I think they will start with players that are still, like, obviously, I'm going to say professionals. Obviously, your more experienced players, seniors. I don't think they'll go and chuck like Barrett in, for example, at centre half. I don't think they'll start players like like Woodcock or Pharrell Graham, the kids, because obviously his kids won 4-0 away at Millwall earlier. So his academy is good, and it's churning out players like Jorgen Nathan and Bland and Jallo. I know we're picking these up from other sides. We are picking these up from other like academies like West Brom Academy and Benfica's, where we got Jallo and Bland from. But all the like other kids that we've got that haven't really had a look in yet, I think they'll make up a lot of bench. But I do think we will probably start something like that. Watson, who we've come in the right back, I imagine he'll start. Clearer are really good off bench. Very good against tired legs. That's the type of wing that you want to come on, because he were outstanding when he come on, in fairness. But he's not going to want to come here and be coming off bench. Do you know what I mean? He's going to want to come here and think, well, I want to start every week. And this is a chance for them players to do it. Russell, I thought Russell would have started against Burton, in fairness. But he trusted Jorgen Nathan again, and fair enough. Like, I trust Duran's judgment. We've won the first 2 games. But yeah, Russell's going to have a lot to say. Kelly as well coming in. I think he's looked good in both games. I know he only got limited minutes in both, but he's looked sharp. He looks very busy. He likes to put a foot in. He's everywhere, which I like. So they'll get game time. But it's clear now, I think, because obviously there's still the injuries as well. We've still got an injury to Gent and Jallo and Roberts. So we've still got injuries there. But it's clear the lack of attacking depth right now that can play. Ferrugia as well, that can play. Because we're looking at, obviously we've got to start one off, McGoldrick or Dunn. And I don't want to start either. I want to bench both of them. Or honestly, I'd rather say to Dunn, you just go and stay with your family in Sunderland this weekend, brother. You come back now on Wednesday. Happy days. Keep the man happy. Wrap him in cotton wool, because that fella's getting us out of this league. But I don't want either of them to play just because I'm scared of what could happen in what is realistically a pointless game. Because if Dunn gets injured, just write it all off. Do you know what I mean? A good start with points and amount of goals that we're scoring and how good we look going forward. But if we get an injury to Dunn, it scares me. It does scare me. But obviously we're around saying that we're going to come and play a good squad. Because Fleetwood, you've got to respect them, haven't you? They've started well. That does scare me a little bit. But I think he'll put Bland in middle to see what he's like. I don't think he'll start not McGoldrick. Well, I don't think he'll start McGoldrick, but that's not what I was trying to say. I don't think he'll start Jorgen Nathan because he's given him first 2 games, and obviously Bland had to do a shift at right back and left back. He's had to do a job everywhere, hasn't he? Bland to start with, really, and then he was starting right back at weekend. I think I want to see him at middle, which is where his actual position is. But yeah, I think that's what we'll end up going with. And then I think he'll chuck Shepherd straight back in, because it's effectively another pre-season friendly this, in it, to chuck him straight back in. And I hope he starts Flav in net. Cooper is very good. We know if Cooper's good. And for this season, fantastic. But if we keep him Flav and we're not going to send him out on loan, he's got to surely play in cup competitions. Especially against weaker opposition. He's obviously got the Papa Johns and stuff like that. But he's got to start in this. Surely. Otherwise, why not just send him out on loan? You know what I mean? It just won't make sense to not start him. I don't think. Watson is 27, bro, not 2. Oh, yeah, no, I changed it on the... Oh, God, sorry. Apologies, guys, apologies. Sea-Dog watched from East End again. I really am not a fan of Earl, but I will. I know you like him. Clearly look quality. Hopefully can beat Bolton. Hope you well, mate. Anyway, I'm brother Eyup as well. Sorry, whenever I come on here and I start waffling, I don't drink enough before, so then I get cotton mouth and then it makes me need to swallow. I like Earl, but Earl needs a big physical fella next to him. And Dijvinia is not that. I think that's the issue here. And even though we're lining up on paper in a 4-2-3-1, something like this, when you're watching it, we're not playing like that, are we? We are clearly shifting into a 3 at back immediately. As soon as we get ball, Dijvinia or Bland at weekend is coming into middle. The right centre half naturally on here, who is Dijvinia, will come centre back, and Shepherd on this, but Earl last weekend will go wide. So we end up in a back 3 because Ogbeta is effectively a winger. Ogbeta was so far up pitch, he was so high up, that it is just a fancy 3 at back anyway. And if Dijvinia is to start in right back in effect, then I don't mind that. But centre back, no chance. He's not physical enough. He's not big enough. He's not strong enough. But as a right centre back, seriously, like you were at Plymouth, I do agree there is something there. I do think there is something there. But for centre back, like he was at weekend, really, him and Earl, it just weren't working. Really weren't working. We obviously need a centre back in, and like I've said, I trust Urian's judgment completely. But if we're going to rock this team and not bring another defender in, that scares me. Really does scare me. Because all we've done to the actual starting 11, because obviously this is my predicted 11 for Fleetwood game. Obviously when it comes to Bolton, it's going to be very different again. But the only player that we've got that's changing the defence really from a starting 11 point of view is Shepherd, who are our player anyway. We've not bought anyone to come in into centre half. Watson's a right back, but I don't think he's going to start really. I think that'll be Dijavigne's position. And we're going to have Shepherd as well, which is going to be mid. He's going to be centre half in it, which is good because that is what he were at Bradford won it. He were middle or about 3, and Earl on left. I like that, but if we get one injury now, because Roberts is out for ages, like to my knowing, Gent is going to be back before Roberts. Gent is apparently September. Jallo's later September. Roberts is like October. Roberts is miles off. So if we get an injury to any of the back 3, which is realistically what it's going to be, in Dijavigne, Earl, and Shepherd, then we're bringing in someone like Barrett, for example. Oh, I'm sure he's going to be a decent footballer, but for right now, for a side that's trying to get promoted from League One, that's not enough. We need a big, massive shithouse, and just depth in general. Because we've seen already from first game, we're unlucky to be fair because we had a red card that were disgusting to Shepherd and Roberts got injured. But then we had to change a full back 4. The entire back 4 was different in terms of the starters in the position, which does not help. So, and that's not going to be a regular thing. But like I just said, your first defender off bench is Barrett, a kid who's probably like 5th, 6th choice. But it's the weakness there immediately for what is a side that conceded boatloads of goals last season anyway. We're good going forward. That's nothing new. But defence is an issue, clearly, that definitely needs to be addressed. And we definitely need players in that position, surely. Simon says, thoughts on attacking away fans in first half, woke or not? It's very woke. I think they want toss, didn't they? Because we've never done that. We've never, ever done that. But also, you're saying that, I saw a stat, it was middle of last season. We're actually better when we shoot towards Ponty in first half. Which is like crazy. It is crazy that. Because we've always, like, everybody at Barnsley knows, we like to shoot towards Ponty in second half because then you can, like, suck ball into net if you're chasing. But we're better shooting to Ponty in first. Which is very, very strange. Diggs, Eyup, I agree we need more defensive depth. Roberts' age despite injury. Yeah, well, Roberts has never been one that's been injured throughout his career that much anyway. That's quite a robust fella in his front town, so you'd expect that. But we definitely need someone in. Definitely. It's not a surprise that we're being linked to... How true these were, I don't know. But it's not a surprise that we're linked to this, like, Lewis Mayo, who's a defender. Powdy O'Connor at start we're flirting with. Is a defender. We've been linked with that Tom Hamer at Lincoln. Is a defender. We clearly want one in. So maybe it's just Durian trying to spark confidence into the lads that are here and think, yeah, we're going to give you a chance. But we need one in. If we're trying to go up, we need a defender in. Definitely. Because I do like Dijavigné as a right centre-back. But down middle, no. No. And you one injury away to Shepherd, realistically now, to being absolutely finished at back. Finished. Burton fan here, last week we shot towards our own fans at first half. Last week seems to work for us. See, as a Burton fan right now, I'll just address this as well. I thought you were quite good. I really do. Like, that Charlie Webster at middle, very good player, big afro. He's a great player. I thought defensively you were quite solid in first half. I think it was just tiredness in second half that like really killed you off. Because there was not much you could do once we just started chucking 10 men at you constantly. And we're at home, aren't we? And just the personnel that we've got from an attacking point of view, we're going to be good anyway. We're going to score some goals. But I think people look at Burton, same as they do with Stevenage and these like smaller sides, and just think, because they are a smaller side, that they're going to be a walk in park. When they're not. Burton are a well-drilled side. The manager's good. They will upset a lot of teams this season, I'm telling you. They were rapid on break, as we saw with second goal. But Burton got no to worry about. I think they're a well-drilled side, me. I really do. Right. Let's have a look. So that's what I think it'll be for Fleetwood. Obviously, I'm not bothered if we lose. I literally couldn't care less. But if we're playing like a decent 11, I'd expect us to win, really. And Fleetwood aren't bad, and I fully expect Norwood to score. But if we don't put like 3 past them at least, I'd be quite concerned. I think we should win. I think we will win. I'm just worried. I can't lie, lads. I'm scared of what could happen if we get an injury to Dunn. That's why I've not put Connell and Phillips in here. I honestly hope he doesn't start Dunn or McGoldrick or Phillips or Connell. I don't want any of them to start. I would like to see, in all honesty, Cleary up front. And if Farouja's fit, just stick him straight on as well. Because I'd rather lose a winger than one of them 2 up front. It scares me. It really does scare me, the thought of an injury to Dunn. And it's not a given. You can't, because then you could just think it's on Saturday against Bolton. But it's very much a nothing game, this, innit? It can have financial benefits on back of it. Because obviously Man United away brought us, what, like £1.5 million quid? Even though we got slapped up. So you've always got the chance of that. And obviously it's an experience for us, innit? If we get a big tie, if we beat Fleetwood and then get some good side away, or even like a really crap, and if we get Salford or something, it's a ground that none of us have done. So it's just something for that, I guess. And you want to just test yourself, don't you? You want to get some momentum going early doors. But that in itself scares me, that I think Connell and Phillips could start because of that. Like, we're playing really good going forward. Just get them all on. And then probably take a majority of them on at 60 for all kids and all Bairns to come on. Like your Woodcocks and Farrells and them type of lads. And that Kieran Graham as well, he played a big part in pre-season, didn't he? I think. But yeah, for the Fleetwood game, I'm excited to go and I'm excited to watch. Well, I'm just excited to watch us, really. From an attacking point of view, I genuinely am excited to watch Barnsley play, which I've not been for a while. Even when we were like, I said good, we've been crap for 4 years. But even when we were like doing well in the Clark and Collins, I weren't excited to go. It felt like a slog going at game. Whereas already, I think it's just having wingers back and like your Cleary and Vickers and McGoldrick and like Dunn and these players. It's like, yeah, we're still crap at back. But going forward, it's a fun watch. It's an exciting watch. There's not enough depth. I completely agree. Terry, I'm not believing that, mate, at all. There's just no way. No way at all. But I'm just excited to watch us play. I really am. It's got to be said. And I'll get this up now because he was comfortably best player on pitch, in my opinion. I don't know how... I like McGoldrick, don't get me wrong, but I don't know how he's got that man at match. Because this fella, in first 2 games, has genuinely been fantastic. I saw a stat that said Phillips' goal contributions so far this season, it's on that Barnsley stats on Twitter, they're really, really good. Phillips' goal contributions for Barnsley is the exact same to the minute as what Urian's were when he left us. Like that, they're the levels that this fellow is putting up consistently. And I know Urian, well, he only had 6 months in Championship actually, didn't he? And then he went, because he was first season up, they were good. So he had 6 months in Championship when he was an absolute freak. But Phillips is a nutcase, man. He's so good. This is his performance just from Burton game. And I do think that the key passes being 4, I think he could have had 4 assists. I think we've missed out, really. Because obviously Phillips has been fantastic. Every year while he's been here, he's been pouring up, 15 plus goal contributions at least for Middle at Park. But he has always, naturally, I think, been more of a Beckham type of winger rather than an actual centre midfielder. I think he's a right midfielder. He's not a winger because he never takes anybody on, does he? But his passing range and his vision is some at best, easily. And I think with a winger in front of him, if he starts on paper centrally, but with a winger in front of him, he can come out wide, can't he? And a winger is going to take your defender away. So it means that he can have like 4 key passes and just drill them all into the box all day. It was best player on pitch by a mile. He got the assist for Vickers, doing the same thing, just coming out wide and drilling it back across. And it was a really good finish from Vickers, to be fair. He looked sharp, I like him. And then for the second one, again, it's same thing. It's all from him. Him and Cleary's all that plays very good as well. But he's making gut-busting runs at 93rd minute, and it's another outstanding ball across the box. Phillips is a baller, man. Phillips is such a good player. And he looks like he's got his head in game and all. Because towards the back end, he looked like he'd throw Teddy out, to be fair. And I like him, but if I saw him in front of me right now, I'd tell him that to his face. But I think right now, Urian looks like he's getting him a proper kick up bollocks, a proper slap on ass. That might get him something else and all, I don't know. But whatever's happening, it's working, baby. Keep him going, because he is brilliant. Phillips isn't consistent enough. Phillips isn't consistent enough. Good player, but that, in my opinion, is why he's still in League One. I would agree in previous seasons, yeah. that is the case. I think he was consistent under Duff, in fairness. But last two, I do agree with you that he has been inconsistent. He can go missing in games. I stand by that. In previous seasons, he can go missing in games. But in this first two, he has never stopped running. He's looked like the most creative player up pitch in both games, easily. He looks like a multi-million pound man. And has he got 2 years left on his deal, I think? Well, he's got a year and then we've got a club option. So 2 years left on his deal. We have got no reason to sell him at all, because anybody that believes that we need to sell players, we as owner, you're lost. We do not need to sell anything, which is why the players that we do sell are going for multi-mils. If he is to leave, and I saw Preston were linked with him earlier in the window, but Eki's come out and said like the financial situation they're in, it's probably not going to be likely. So I doubt that Phillips leaves. I doubt that any of them leaves. Oh man, it's just exciting, isn't it? It's just exciting, like the attacking football that we're playing. But Phillips was the best player on pitch. Phillips was a different player compared to the past few seasons since that South Yorkshire derby at Wembley. I agree as well. Like I said, I think in the Dove season, Phillips was one of his best players. But then the last two, even though he gained loads of goal contributions, I think last two, it went missing in certain spells. Whereas if he keeps his form up, you're genuinely looking at one of like best midfield performances ever. He is so he is the creative hub, in it really. Like we've got McGoldrick who can just make something out of no, which I think is his strength anyway. But Connell's very good. He's for a 6. Connell is very sharp at getting ball quickly. Dunn's an intelligent footballer. Obviously the wingers are going to do what they want, but Phillips is just going to do the same thing over and over again. Peel wide and just spam balls into box because he can do it. He's a very intelligent footballer. Like I said, the run and the movement for the last goal, William and Cleary to spray it across for McGoldrick, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Oh god, it's just really nice to see. Like obviously looking at the stats again, we were a better side. Like completely agree. Like across the full game, we were a better side. It was an awful first half, but for across full game, we were really good and we deserved to win. I do think, in fairness. Got to be said. Got to be said. Opinions on John O'Bland? I think he's mint. Seriously, what is he? 19? 20? Like, myself included, everybody's really excited, I think, at the prospect of, like, Jallo, right? Mainly because of what's been reported previously. Like, Serie A and Premier League sides were putting 7-figure bids on table with these incentives for him to come. And he stayed here for game time and he signed a new contract. So the excitement from his perspective is like obvious to see. But Bland looks like he's played. Someone said it earlier on. Bland looks like he's played for 10 years. It looks like he's been in this game forever. And he's a teenager, I think. He might be 20, but I think he's 19. He's a kid. And he just looks that composed all the time. He's very diverse. He can play right back, centre mid, left back, anywhere you want. He's mint. He's so good. And I'm at a point now where I think I'd start him every week, which is wild when you're looking at like Russell on bench, who was best midfielder last season, and Connell and Phillips. But if we're going to play Dijvinia at right back, Bland has to go in middle. Bland has to go in middle. One of him or Jorgen Evans. Jorgen Evans looked good as well, to be fair, and another very exciting one. But Bland, I think people look at him and think of his name. Like, oh, he don't do a great deal in terms of like going forward. He doesn't offer the most ever going forward. But in terms of just someone that breaks play up, keeps ball, just effectively gives it to people that are better than him, he's absolutely outstanding at his job. Bland, he's really good. He's 20 in October. Bang on. I'm so happy. West Brom did a number on us, didn't they? Like a few years ago when we got Championship playoffs, and then they took us manager offers, they took us captain offers. I know I hate Devante Cole, I think he's crap. But they took an 18-goal striker offers. Styles is a little goblin and all. And they got him for like, what, 500 grand, something like that. They've taken a lot off us in recent years. But we've gone and got someone from their academy who looks very, very composed for his age. And looks like he's going to get us a lot of money if he ever leaves. With Bland and same with Cleary as well. We've took 2 of their kids who look very good for this division. Very good. But that's my opinion on John O'Bland. I think he's absolutely fantastic. LH10, do you think he's challenged for autos if you increase defensive depth? Oh, see, that's the question, isn't it? That is the question. Because right now, no. But I don't think we challenge autos, like, seriously, for full length at season, with the amount of goals that we concede with this current defence. Going forward, I'm going to be completely honest. I think we will score the most goals in this division. I stand by that completely. I know I said, oh, 100 points, 100 goals a joke. I think we'll push for 90 goals. I do. Because the last 3 games, what have we scored? In the last 3 competitive games in league, 3 against Burton at home. So I know it's only Burton at home and you think that, but they're a good mid-table side. 3 away at Plymouth. And at last game at season, I'm going to bring it up again. We put 4 past Reading with full ground for a side that wanted to get in playoffs on last day and finish 7th. We will score a lot of goals. Regardless of who the team is, we will score a lot. The only thing that I'm scared about is the defensive side of things. So if right now, do I think we'll challenge for autos? No. I think we'll be a playoff side, even with this current team, easily. But if we add defensive depth and serious ones at that, yeah. I do. I actually do. I don't think we'll get it. Unless we get something like best defenders ever, I don't think there's anything that we could bring in, realistically, that's better than what Luton, Huddersfield have got at back. I think Bolton are quite similar to us, because I think their defence is quite a weak point, but going forward they look shit hot. So I think us and Bolton in the same position. If we strengthen as defences, I could see challenging it. But Luton and Huddersfield, to me, just look like the more complete sides everywhere on pitch. I don't really see much of a weakness with Huddersfield and Luton, whereas I do Wales and Bolton. But I think we are the 4 best teams, looking at it, really. Cardiff, like obviously, you can look at Cardiff, who have still got quite a young side, but look quite naive defensively as well. Not offered loads and loads going forward yet in the 2 games. They were good against Peterborough, but not so much against Port Vale. Plymouth have got a lot to do. Blackpool have started horrendously. I don't know why I listened to any AR about Blackpool. I don't know what's wrong with me. Listening to you dopes. Blackpool, the best team ever. This year's Rotherham, I'm telling you. Speaking of Rotherham, be nowhere near it. Wickham with Dodds are crap. They're going to sell the best player by a mile. So I think you're looking at Barnsley, Bolton, Luton, Huddersfield as your best 4 teams. Who are obviously top 4 at the minute, I think. Maybe. No, they're not, because Bolton had lost first game, didn't they? I'll tell you, Stockport look good and all, but I don't think Stockport have got as much going forward as us either. Yeah, they're very good level throughout, aren't they? But I don't think they're a top 2 challenger, like a serious one. I think they'll be a playoff side, but I don't think they'll. Thing is, like I'm saying that, but I don't think they've been better side in either the first 2 games. And they've got 6 points, so it's an hard one to call Stockport. But Huddersfield, Barnsley, Luton, Bolton are the ones. I think they're the ones. And obviously, at weekend, we've got him, haven't we? We have got him at weekend. Hold on, let me read that. Didn't you get Everett sacked after Bolton 4-1? I can't remember. But that's what I mean. Like, we bet Bolton 4-1 as well. That were at start of Hurrian taking over. We scored 3 away at Leyton Orient, 4 against Bolton, 4 away at Reading. We scored 3 in his first 2 games here. We'll score loads of goals. Loads. They have Corey O'Keefe, so I can't take him serious. That's a fair point, honestly. That is genuinely quite a fair point. You can buy Georgie Kelly off us if you'd like. I don't even recognise who that is, to be honest. Bolton best midfield in the league by far. They are very good in middle. The depth's crazy. But for right now, I would have to disagree and say Barnsley. I really would. And Luton's is shit hot and all, in fairness. Like Saville and Liam Walsh. Come on. That's a right team, isn't it? Right, but we did make a signing earlier this week, or last week even, before the game. Obviously, Tenai Watson is coming from Charlton on a free transfer. They released him. He weren't starting consistently for him last season. It was very much a squad player for him. 19 appearances and he got 8 clean sheets in that time. 650 minutes. It's not the most ever. But Nathan Jones did trust him enough to bring him on in playoff final. So I think that speaks volumes about what he is as a defender, which is a very good one. He is quite an attacking fullback. He's going to like overlap players a lot of time. I think he's a profile that we're going to use depending on the game that we're playing in. I don't think he's going to start every week. I think it will be Dijavinia's spot at right back. I really do. But Watson can offer a little bit more, I think, in terms of the attacking point of view. Dijavinia very much stays back, doesn't he? And it could be a case of we could swap a winger out for Phillips and then push Watson up to overlap him. To try, it's all to try and free up Phillips, isn't it, really, down that right-hand side? Really. But yeah, I don't mind it at all. I think it's great depth for the position that we're obviously screaming for. And in terms of an actual defender, he's miles better than what we let go. He's so much better at defending than Corey O'Keefe is, for example, who would have started for us if we kept current crop of right backs from last year. He's miles better at defending than all of them. So, in my book, we've improved for free on a 1-year contract, which is it's short-term thinking, but you've got to, in terms of if we get promoted, it's not enough for Charlton. If we get promoted, then we're going to be thinking the same thing as them probably. It might come in and be absolutely outstanding, but you think that we're going to want the different players in the positions that we've got if we're to get promoted, because we probably need to do a Charlton to an extent with the amount of money that they've spent and the players that they've brought in loads of different positions. But I like it. I like this Watson. It's smart business on a year deal. Good squad option. I really like it, and it's better defending than what we had. So, really good. And then there's still this. Like I said, obviously, if I get the lineup again for what I think it'll be tomorrow night, we've got to play Dunn or McGoldrick realistically, because the depth up front is non-existent. It's non-existent, which scares me. I've said it loads of times, even in this stream alone. It terrifies me, the thought that we have to play one of them because we've got nothing else. And clearly we could go up front, and obviously we've got injuries to Jallo and Ferrugia and these. But we need, I think we need a little bit more going up front. And if we had someone like this, Jordan Thomas, for sake of 250 chuffing peanuts, for God's sake, we're not talking about £1,000,000 here, it's 250 grand. Oh my God, we probably made that from a sell-on off Callum Britton. Just pay it, man. What are we doing? Because if we get this in for 250 grand, by the way, then Cleary, who is naturally a striker, could play up front. You could start Jordan Thomas out wide. We do not have to risk our star man in Dunn. We do not have to risk him at all if we have someone that can play right wing, which frees up Cleary to go up front. We've been slow what we've done. I like what we've brought in. I really do. But, oh my God. Just what we're pissing about with for the sake of 250 grand. It's just not hard, is it? Oh my God. Yoga did a job last season up front in Cup. Oh my God, done, honestly. Just done, please. I can't. I just can't. I'm just upset, really, that we're sat here needing to play one of them two up front. It scares me. Nathaniel, even, I'm going to call you Nathan then. Nathaniel, thank you for 5, mate. I do appreciate it a lot. What's your thoughts going into Saturday? Early prediction for it. Going to be a good away day for us at least. I think the wingers will decide game. I completely agree with last sentence there. Sorry, I've got a burp again. Pardon me. I completely agree with you. I think it's down to the width. Obviously, that's probably your strong point, I would say, looking at it. It's going to be a rate game. I'll tell you that for now. It's going to be a rate game. Middle at part for both of us is a big, strong point in it. Obviously, you've got Sheehan, Morley, Simmons, that Ethan Error, and you've got loads at middle at park. We've got like Connell, Phillips, Russell, Jorgen Nathan, Bland, these type of lads. Very good midfield that I think could probably cancel each other out to an extent. As defences are both weak, I think Bolton's, obviously you can give me a different view on this, but I think Bolton's defence, looking at it at weekend, I think we can get at that, definitely. I'm not keen on your fullbacks, in fairness, but I think your wingers, and McAtee's always quite busy in it. I know you don't rate him as much, but he's quite busy, and especially against us, I think he'll be up for it. But your wingers look shit up, and I'm terrified down our flanks at what you could do. I really am. But in fairness, that's why I could see maybe Watson starting and going and trying to be a little bit more. Oh no, actually, that won't make much sense, would it really? Dijavinia more a defender than he is. I'm trying to think of what we do though. If we go to a back three and it's Dijavinia, Shepherd, Earl, I'm scared about doubling up on as wide centre halves. I'm scared about what you could do there. Tim from Brighton looks absolutely outraged, doesn't he? He looks unstoppable. I'm scared. I'm genuinely scared about him and what he could do. But I agree. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Maybe like last year. I know we did double on you last year, didn't we? 2-1 at yours and 4-1 at ours. Both teams to score is an absolute banker. Would I take a draw? Would you take a draw coming to Barnsley? Obviously, we're not the same Barnsley we have been for the last 2 years, and we've played each other a billion times. Against Stockport, it were lazy on wings defensively. Against Plymouth, rock solid, but they are to dross. Would you take a draw? Any of you, if you're a Bolton fan or a Barnsley one, would you take a draw in this game? Because I don't honestly think I would. I think we can beat them. I don't know whether we'll. I don't know whether Ponty will be full because people are seemingly a bit shocked in terms of the amount of seats that are available. But our season ticket sales this season are going to be awful. Our season ticket sales are going to be absolutely awful. And I don't blame people for not going with how shit we've been for like 4 years in a row. We've been absolutely awful by his own standards. Same as Bolton, in fairness. We've both been absolutely crap for ages. But last season especially, it's his worst one in decades in terms of goals conceded. It's the worst ever from us in this division. Like points-wise and positional, it's his worst in at least 20 odd years. So I don't blame people for not renewing when we're in such a dire state, and as board and owners come out and consistently say we're just not going to spend money. So don't blame people for not going. And it's frustrating from our point of view, the people that are still going, thinking there's a chance here. There's a chance, like the crop of players that we've got, especially going forward, that there's a real chance that we could do it. But yeah, I don't think atmosphere is going to be right cracking. Even Bolton saw 2.5k, aren't they? So I think we're just sick of seeing each other. I think if we play this fixture in Championship next year, it'll be full both grounds. But I think we're just so fed up of seeing each other's faces that the away following from a side like Bolton's not that. I know 2.5k is still decent in it, but 2.5k for a side like Bolton's not right cracking. Our attendance isn't going to be right good. It's two of your bigger sides in this division that are expected to be up there, and attendance might be 14, 15k. It's just absolute arse. I don't blame people for not going to either, really. Oh, God. Very, very mixed reviews, though. But thank you, Nathaniel. I do appreciate it. Very mixed reviews on what people think. Scott, you take a point and you're a Bolton fan. Diggs, Barnsley need a win to set tone. BFC says absolutely would not. Joy if you beat Peterborough. I'd take a draw in Hudds go to Barnsley. What can happen in a derby? Yeah, that's fair as well. You'd only take a win, Nathaniel. Only because we lost first. Can't start season. Most likely 5 points behind top two. Yeah, that's a fair point as well. Yeah, you did lose first game, didn't you? That is fair. So you'd only come and have a win then? Do you think you'll come and try and get a win? You know, in fact, yeah, of course you are. Bolton aren't going to come and sit 10 men behind the ball and try and play on counters either. Especially with wingers, they're going to come and go for it. You reckon 3 apiece? I think there'll be a lot of goals. I don't know. As a Bolton fan, wouldn't mind a draw, but we can defo win, in my opinion. I mean, I agree. I agree. I think anything could happen. There's nothing I would be surprised at, apart from a 0-0. That's what I'd say. There's nothing that I would be surprised at in terms of what that score could be at weekend. But if we win, right, and obviously you lost your first game, like you said, so I'm going to speak about you differently here. But if we win if we win that game, and we bet Plymouth away, 1 at home for God's sake, and then bet Bolton, and with 9 for 9 in first 3 games, that really, really sets tone for us, I think, if we beat you. Huddersfield I'm more scared about towards back end of this month, because I think Huddersfield could definitely come and beat us. And I'd be more inclined to take a draw. In fact, I would take a draw against Huddersfield, I'll be completely real. But against Bolton, I want the win, and I think we can win. Oh, I saw a comment about it, but you should put any 40-minute plus video on Spotify, pal, something to listen to, maybe not the live streams. Good shout, in fairness. Yeah, but my stuff's very visual in it, so good shout though. It does pay out quite well and all. It honestly does. How many have Bolton allocated? Looking forward to absolute scenes on Saturday. I don't know. We've started cutting away fans down, aren't we? But obviously because season ticket sales aren't as good, I assume they'd probably get full thing if you wanted it. Well, full thing in reason. I think the away end holds 6k. But they always take off front like 2 or 3 rows for netting and coppers. And then the little corner that's next to our fans, just so you can't just fade each other immediately. So I imagine the gear like 4.5 if you actually wanted it. Do you reckon if we score first half, do you think you'll keep a back 4 or still push fullbacks up? I'd hope that we just keep going. To be fair, we changed game plan a lot against Plymouth, didn't we? Like, obviously, when we went down to 10 men and the injury to Roberts, we had to change a lot. But we still kept Dunn quite high up, so we still had an outball all the time. I don't think it'll ever be a case where, even if we go 2-0 up, I don't think we will say if we're 2-0 up against Bolton in an hour, I don't think we'll sit 10 behind ball and just try and do that. I think we'll just try to keep going. That's what Urian's done in all the games, even when he first took over. It's very much been about, we've got another, just go again. Because I think if you do sit back, it invites negativity, It invites crowd to get on your back a little bit, and it invites nerves, and we never do well with nerves, do we? So I think we just keep going for it. That's why I think it could be such a stupid scoreline. Me. Luke, you think he'll beat us 2-1? Your defence is horrible. I mean, it is. It honestly is. Well, Shepherd looked good, and I do like Earl. I've got to say, I do like Earl. Thing is, this time we've got a keeper. Like, we had so many different ones last season. The Cooper is very good. Cooper's very good. But yeah, I think we'll win on Saturday. And I'll do my predictions close to the time because obviously, who knows? Are you playing tonight? I don't know if Bolton are playing tonight. I don't think you are, actually. I think you're playing tomorrow against Wednesday. Unless it is tonight, I don't know. But Bolton could get injuries tonight. We could get injuries tomorrow. So by Thursday, time that I post it, who knows? All could have happened. But I do think we will win. I think we'll win tonight. Not tonight. I think Barnsley will win tomorrow against Fleetwood, like I've said. I imagine this to be team. And then if there's no injuries, I think we will beat Bolton on Saturday. If you struggle against Burton, you're gonna get a slap in against us. You say that, but we bet Plymouth 3-1 with 10 men, about 5 kids seeing game out, and this horrible defence. And then first half we were shocking against Burton. I completely agree. But second, we look like chuffing prime Barcelona again. So it completely depends what side you get that turns up. But thing is, we're always consistent in scoring goals. And you're saying about our defence, which is true. But I think exact same about yours. I think we could we will get at that defence. We will score, definitely. But the thing with yours, I just know that we'll concede one as well. It's just, it'll be minimum 2-1 to somebody, I would say. But I think we'll do you. I really do. I think both defences are quite poor. Middle at Park's up for grabs because I think you probably are looking at two, apart from Luton's, probably two best midfields in the league anyway. It's going to be won and lost down these flanks. So, it depends who's up for it. But it'll be a good game. It'll be a good game. It's a complete neutral in this situation. I say Barnsley win about 3-2 and the winning goal will be relatively late. I could see that. I think it could come down to depth as well, which I think we're good going forward with the depth as well. But the players that Bolton can shift in and around at middle of park is terrifying. So that scares me. But yeah. That second Burton goal is funniest one I've seen this season, to be fair. I mean, I'm not going to pick out individuals, but we just know, don't we? But yeah, I think win tonight, or tomorrow night even, and then win on Saturday. 5 wins in a row in competitive fixtures. Who knows, baby? Truly, who knows? But boys, that is going to be it because I'm going out for a meal, and I'm sweating bag out in my room. So absolute pleasure, boys and girls. Love you all. Kiss. Make sure you like, subscribe if you do enjoy. It does help me out a lot. And if you're watching as a video afterwards, then just do the same thing. Thanks, boys and girls, as always. Oh my god, I keep just saying boys. I need to say like something else. Mates, my friends, thank you, my dears, for watching the stream. Love you all, and I will see you in a bit. The next one will be Thursday for obviously the League One live, so none tomorrow, but there'll be one on Thursday and there'll be one on Friday as well. Absolute pleasure. Love you all, and I'll see you in a bit. Oh, you'll have a good day. I am going on tomorrow, yeah. I'll see you in a bit. Legends.